Hey there, Cheese here, and welcome back to more Mega Man Zero Perfect runs. We've come quite a ways in Zero 1. In fact, CL only has one mission left for us to take. And for that, she just wants us to check up on the factory that we took control of a while back and see how it's doing. Yes, things are finally peaceful for the Resistance. It's a miracle. And so since we have the time, we might as well go ahead and do this. I mean, hey, what's the worst that could happen? However, the music is dire, and our watches are missing. Oh no, now we'll never know the time of day. That's terrible. Whoa. Ah shoot, the terrible police have caught up with me too. It's just as terrible. Oh, that's just Phantom. The final guardian. And I'd say he's the coolest of the bunch. I mean, he looks like a ninja, he wears a scarf, he talks about legends. He's probably got the only interesting dialogue in Zero 1, to be honest. The translation team really wasn't all here for it. But he's a guardian from Zero 1, so he's bound to have some sort of embarrassing Achilles heel. Still dangerous, though. Phantom's big Achilles heel is that he always goes to the same places to use most of his attacks. So usually you know what's coming. If he goes to the center of the screen, he'll split into 4 copies. And you have to choose the right one, or act fast. If he's going to the side of the screen, he'll throw a shuriken like a boomerang and then ride it. Stuff like that. The only attack that he can use from absolutely anywhere is rushing at you with a sword like that. That one's the most threatening, because you can stun him out of it by damaging him, but if he's just taken damage, well, he can't take damage again. And so you can't stun him out of it then. So if he uses it more than once in a row, things can get hairy fast. With this attack, you saw what happens if you accidentally choose the wrong copy. It will disintegrate, and if you're too close to it, it will hurt you. And then on top of that, he'll try to land on you. With this EX attack, whoa. With this attack, you just go behind him, then move forward to not get pegged with the kunai. If you take too long to get this attack, to find him in this attack, he'll either do the shuriken jump that splits into 4 there, or he'll immediately dash at you with the sword from wherever he is, and that can really be trouble. I'd recommend not using the saber against this attack, because if you do, he can kind of land on you. Also, don't try to shoot him more than once per volley, because you don't want to be in midair when kunais are raining down from potentially near your head. And with that, Phantom's finally down, but things aren't done with yet. He's set bombs all over the factory, and they're already counting down. Our legend will end not with a whimper, but with a bang. Told ya he says cool things. And indeed, there's only 3 minutes left on the timer at this point. CL wants us to evacuate, but hey, we're Zero. We didn't become a hero by making good decisions, we became a hero by dashing straight into the face of danger. And taking out Garth. Annoying little dogs that like to latch onto you, keep you stuck in place, and gnaw your face off. They got even worse in later games, but hey, we're under a time limit in this one, so they're bad enough now. There are 8 bombs in the factory here. None of them are in the entryway, so it doesn't matter which path you take, you won't be missing any. I'm taking this bottom path even though it has shell crawlers and seal cannons, because I generally find it easier. Lots of places where you're safe from a seal cannon, or not really under much fire. In fact, you only need to take out those 2 shell crawlers before breezing through. There's our first bomb. If we have to slash it with the saber to get it off the wall, but then Zero's mere touch will deactivate it at that point. There are 3 around the elevator shaft. Let's get this started. There's that one up here, and one near the bottom left. Be careful about the seal cannon opposite, though. You don't want to get stuck in a bad position with that. And you do have ample time to recover all the bombs unless you miss one along this trip. More important along this trip, though, is taking out Glyeyes before they get a chance to swoop down from where they're perched. Because if they can just easily go too low for your buster range. And that makes things way too hairy for my taste. Wait, did I get that one there? Yes, I think I did. Like I said, and fortunately, time isn't really something you have to worry about. Two more. Okay, I didn't miss that one. The bat made me panic so much I wasn't sure. At this point, you're basically fine from the bats because that one won't be too low to shoot, and this one you can lure onto even ground just fine. If all goes well, I should be home clear right now. Here's the second to last bomb. Be careful not to mess things up, and be careful to remember the walking forward strategy for here. There are a few more Glyeyes, but luckily they're only the wavy type, not the homing type. So they're nowhere near as much of an issue. Up this ladder is our final bomb. CL says something at 30 seconds. Might as well do that. And since we've already taken out a boss, this is it. Yeah, 30 seconds before the explosion. Yeah, so start flashing. Alright, fine, I'll pick it up. All the bombs are deactivated and Zero is fine. Thank goodness. CL looks forward to our safe return. And fortunately, we don't have to deal with that. Zero returns without damage all on his own. I apparently did not kill nearly as many enemies as the stage wanted to, and ended up with a terrible rank of 76. Luckily I've done well enough the rest of the time that it's still an A rank average. And we'll still get to keep seeing EX attacks from bosses. But hey, it comes with the territory. Yeah, this short, peaceful respite for the Resistance is kind of ruined now. And it's also just ended. There's a problem. Enemy troops are attacking the base. We can't hold out much longer? Excuse me, didn't we just prevent this from happening when we fought Fepnir? Ah, goodness. I'll just go on to the outtakes and deal with this later. Time for some extras. For starters, let's get back up on health. No good having a lower health bar there. And take on the top path here. There are a couple of top gadgets, but more importantly, the rest of the enemies are a new enemy type, Gyro Cannon. And you can destroy either the gyro or the cannon part. Although, only destroying the cannon part will take them out for good, and that's bulkier. If you destroy the gyro part, the cannon part falls but stays in place, and it can keep using that dual shot attack. It won't drop any more bombs down though, because it'll already be on the ground. No point in exploding itself, and from this point you know how things go. Just a few fans and an extra life. I don't know if it's there even if you picked it up in the factory stage before. And back over here. Careful on that steel cannon, it can kind of catch you off guard sometimes. But overall, it's nothing much. It's just the gyro cannons that are there. One thing I missed out on mentioning during the perfect run itself is I also would say not to use the saber during this phase, or during that attack rather, because the extra range on the saber makes it quite the double-edged sword. Sure, you do a little extra damage to Phantom, but it's very easy to also slash one of the fakes, and why did he teleport away even though I slashed 2 fakes? That's not happened before. But yes, overall it's very easy to accidentally slash Phantom and a fake and have the fake crumble away on top of you and hurt you. Just like that. You don't have to dodge the shuriken attack that same way every time, I just find it the easiest. I also seem to recall that's the best place, directly behind him is the best place to layer on damage with the saber. So there's that. Also, when this shuriken hits the ground, it doesn't always explode in a diagonal pattern. It seems to most of the... oh, whoops. Can't show it that way. It seems to most of the time, but at certain angles it'll explode into a cardinal direction cross pattern. Usually that just happens when you're directly beneath him. And I am not doing very well this time. Good thing the perfect run's already finished, huh? I'll show the cardinal pattern one of these days. Here we go. Just gotta get through this attack properly. Yep, if it goes straight down, it'll split up and down and left and right. And you gotta make sure to jump over the kunai that flies out in that case. Still not super threatening. It's another of the normal attacks that he can use, and it's the only one that he can use from absolutely wherever. Whoa. Careful there, Phantom. Careful there, Cheese, you forgot to fire. Also, I say only shoot once because you don't want kunai to appear... well, that was clumsy. He'll poof straight above your head and drop down on you with his sword. So avoid that. If you take too long, he'll, whoa, rush at you, and I barely took too long there. Whoops. Might just be taking too long in total, because I don't think that normally happens like that. One of them will be real, and that one is whichever one looks most solid, I suppose. You can also sometimes tell because he keeps blinking, and I timed that poorly. And then go forward to dodge the kunai and back. Ah, shoot! Give up and just throw a shuriken from up high that will slash you in the face. That attack there was splitting into 4 copies. Once you pick out the more solid looking one, ow. But we're 0. We didn't become a hero by running away, we became a hero by running towards dangerous dogs. So don't dally. He also shows off his EX attack here. He hides in the darkness and throws kunai. Only move when you're not... that was dumb. If he jumps to the center of the room, he'll split into 4 copies like this. And then do that because he's bad. Phantom, don't lie. And so, anytime he catches you off guard with that, can be, dang, well hey, I didn't know you could do like straight down like that from the side of the room. Well that's dangerous. No. Hey, the one attack that he can use from absolutely anywhere is dashing at you with his sword. You can stun him out of it, but if he's still invincible from having taken damage earlier, you can't stun him then, and he can use it out of that attack if you take too long. Yep. Oh, Phantom. I thought you weren't so hard. I was wrong. It's mere touch, I suppose. There are 2 in this elevator shaft, one on the right near the top, and one not inside that bullet. Don't check inside that bullet like I did. That's stupid. Well, you won't be able to damage him, so no stunning him out of it. And that's what happens if you accidentally choose the wrong one, and then he jumps into my face by accident. Phantom, seriously, cut it out. I got lucky there. Then he will, the wrong copy will disintegrate and damage you if you're too close. And if Phantom's too close, he'll do that. sometimes, and it really messes me up, that dang sword dash. The one attack that he can use from anywhere is rushing at you with his sword. That one's the most dangerous because it can come as a surprise, and that was... I predicted him using the sword, and instead he just jumped into me. Oh, Phantom. Okay, it wouldn't have mattered anyway, fine. Oh, Phantom. And there you have all the problems of Phantom Stage. All one of them. I'm quite glad he brought the fight to me this time. That made things a lot easier. I'm gonna give Phantom a 4 out of 10. His battle looks easier than it really is when it's done right. It's relatively easy to avoid dangerous situations, but as soon as you get into one, it's very hard to get out of it. The best example is the splitting into copies attack. It looks easy, and when you're playing it feels easy too, but take a quarter second longer at any point and you just might get a sword to the face instantly. There's also the part where his EX attack can complicate things in an unexpected way. It's less that the EX attack is threatening on its own, and more of what happens afterwards. Should the attack end with Phantom directly in front of you, you're kind of in a tricky situation, because he's going to attack well before his invincibility runs out, and you have no warning of whether he'll suddenly lunge at you with the sword, or just like jump to the center of the area. And considering you would need to dodge those two actions in completely different ways, you almost kind of have to hope that things work out, because at some range, reaction time won't even help you. Once Phantom is dealt with though, the rest of the stage isn't too bad. You just have to be careful around the Garms, with an M. That's going to keep happening, isn't it? And aside from that, the first 4 Glyeyes in the carry arm section are really the only threat. Judging from my practice rounds, I expected them to trip me up a lot more. I honestly kind of think I just got lucky with the Glyeyes. But if that's what happened, hey, I'll take it. So that's that. Phantom gets a 4 out of 10. Quite the fun stage to end this game on, I would say. And speaking of which... So, now that we've finished all of the missions in 0-1, we've come to the moment where we have to talk about the rest of the game. And as far as those stages go, I will actually be doing them, and I will be doing them right away. In a sense, at any rate. With Mega Man Classic and Mega Man X, the plot didn't matter as much. Every game's plot was more or less the same. Sometimes Dr. Wily had a mustache, that was basically the only difference. With the Zero series, the plot does actually change things from game to game, and it's rather upfront about it as well. So if I were to simply move on to the main stages of 0-2, we would miss out on a lot of context. Therefore, I'm going to be working on the final stages of 0-1 next. However, here's the thing. With final stages comes... yes, all those guys. That's going to take a super long time. I don't even know how long that's going to take, and that's saying nothing of the Fortress stages leading up to the refights. I do have something planned for this, though. For now, I am going to be working on the perfect runs in the background, but I'm not going to upload any of them. Instead, I've been recording another video series. While I work on the final stages of 0-1, I'll be able to upload this other video series in the meantime so that my channel isn't absolutely devoid of content for a 5-month period. Here's hoping that I won't need anywhere near 5 months. It could happen though, I mean, ugh. Anyway, I hope you're looking forward to the start of the new series just as much as I am, and if not, at least the return of 0-1 Perfect Runs. And I hope to see you again next time. Until then, this has been Cheese. See you later!